you can dip Brussels sprouts in chocolate to make them look like cake pops.
Oh, sweet.
Please remember, the views and opinions expressed by this show or any other show on DV Radio and its guests are strictly those of said individuals and do not reflect those of the DV Radio staff, nor the staff of dysfunctional veterans.
Attention, everyone.
You're tuned in live.
DV Radio.
Online and on the go on your mobile device.
Listeners' discretion is advised.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Hey, you're listening to DV Radio with the old guy. I see Bo, who never leaves his couch for some reason. Google and Recoil, and I don't know where Marquis is at.
I was going to say he probably went to Kruger.
The little garlic sauce is delicious. You alt-right neo-Nazi bastards better stop it right now.
If you use the cheap sauce, it don't taste good. It tastes like ass.
And I've got an important message.
Joe Junkie and Carrie Crack are perfectly fine for Tombstone.
Well, yep. Carrie Crack is perfectly fine. She did in New Zealand. I would have sex with Brad Pitt.
How can you even read that with a straight face? Well, I've heard that many like short and tuna can girth, so I'm winning in that round apparently.
You're tuned in to WDVR on DVRadio.net or by searching DV Radio on your TuneIn app on your favorite mobile device.
Because this is how it is on DV Radio.
Good evening and welcome to this special edition of Barracks Talk. Apparently DV6 has vaginitis and Bonerwood donated his third testicle for us to get a puppy for the farm.
Don't worry, I made DV6 go upstairs with his vaginitis.
Vaginitis of the tonsils.
He just keeps eating ice cream. And I'm like,
Okay.
Really?
Vaginitis of the tonsils, and then Google opens with, he just keeps eating. And my mind went somewhere completely different.
And in case you haven't noticed, what makes our show special this evening is the fact that we have our special ed moderator, DV Bender, on with us this evening.
Yes. You're welcome.
Well, at least he's not retarded.
Or a potato.
Because that would be offensive.
Yeah, we're not allowed to use words like retarded. Special needs, I guess, is still okay, huh?
Yep. Oh, man. Sorry, I'm trying to fill up slots for 6. And I was getting sidetracked.
Filling up slots and
so
vaginitis and all kinds of stuff going on here.
Tune in after the break while Google fills 6's slot.
Well, while we're waiting for Google to get ready to do the farm update that DV6 can't do because he's infected in the tonsils with vaginitis, the reason that Bonerwood is not on with us this evening is because, and the reason we didn't do it last week, is because he actually had to have an emergency appendectomy. He's good to go, and he'll be back next week. But he went out, finally got out of the house, which is a rare occasion for Bonerwood, and he started not feeling well, so he decided that maybe he just needed to get something to eat, so they got him a burger or some shit. By the time he got home, he was in excruciating pain, so his mom decided to take him to the hospital, and by the time they figured out what was wrong with him, he was literally minutes away from his appendix bursting, and they put him under the knife and cut that sucker out. So now he's good, he's in recovery. He's at home. He's having a little bit of pain with his stitches and stuff, which makes it difficult for him to hold his laptop literally on his lap, because that's what Bonerwood has to do. So he's taking another week off here to heal up, and then he'll be back.
Yep. We do hope he feels better soon.
Yeah, get well soon, brother. But at the same time, I'm sure that's why he's like, see, this is why I never leave the fucking house.
Right. Yeah, so bear with us, because as much as we like to bust his balls, Bonerwood is very good at what he does. And he really does hold the DV Radio, a lot of our web pages, as well as this show together.
Yes. Yeah, we got on the pre-show, and here's Recoil. Well, I didn't type up an itinerary because I never look at it anyway. I'm like, thanks a lot. That's where I get my news links.
Whoops. Well, you can get them from the message you sent me earlier.
I know, but still. Yeah.
Well, the only thing that the only thing the news is good for right now is just looking up if you want to get into an argument on social media about the gun debate.
It really is. But before we get into that, can I do the farm update real quick?
Yes,
that way,
please.
At
Please
least
give us a
we'll
break.
have that done. All right. So, all last week, was it last week? Yeah, last week we had some students from Rutgers University here, and it was very informative for, I think, all of us, really. They mainly wanted to come out and see what we're all about and what, veteran issues are and the VA, what we're dealing with and the crap there and stuff. So it was really nice. Of course, it snowed for 4 fucking days straight. So that wasn't very helpful. But, but we at least got some snow cleared, and I took a total of 6 of them out to see the horse, and I taught them some about horses, and 6 brought some of them up to the VA. And so yeah, it was a good week. It was busy though. I mean, 6 was literally going nonstop, so I'm sure that's why he's sick.
So I heard that the vets named the new puppy Tank. How are things going with Tank?
Tank is doing good. He's holding his own. Even when they're out playing. Storm is teaching him a couple of things, though.
Good or bad?
Well, so when Storm plays with another dog, he tends to go for neck biting, but it's not really, he's not hurting them when biting. But Tank was not doing this when they first started playing, and now Tank has adopted this form of play as well. But with Tank, it's more, let me grab your ear and hold on as tight as I can. So there is some separating them while they're playing. Storm also likes to, because 6, when he plays with Storm, he likes to go for his legs. So Storm does that with Tank. He'll grab his leg and just holds on. And I'm like, what the fuck?
A couple of little hellraisers.
Oh my god. It's a lot of work when, each puppy individually is great. There's not a whole lot of work to be done. But together, they are little rascals. And it's a constant. You have to watch them. And interrupt their play, make them sit and give them a treat, and then they can go back to raising hell. Tank has also been forced to be Tank has also been sent inside several times because he's figured out we have ducks. So he started chasing ducks, and he's figured out that ducks poop. So he's been eating duck poop just like Storm.
Ducksicles.
And I'm like, great. Good. Now we have another poop eater.
I've always said in most cases, there's always dogs like Scout that don't want it. But in most cases, 2 dogs are happier than 1.
Yes. Oh, yeah, for sure.
I don't think Scout even knew he was a dog.
I don't think, I wondered that on numerous occasions. I'm like, do you even realize that you're a dog? No. I don't think that you do. You act too much like a person.
He's like fucking Brian from Family Guy.
Right?
Out getting
I'm
laid.
Talking to you. Why can't you hear me?
Out getting laid and smoking cigarettes and shit.
They really, yeah, Tank is doing really good, and Tank and Storm are getting along quite fine. Yesterday, I was puppy sitting while 6 took the vets to do their shopping in town and get haircuts and all that stuff. So I was puppy sitting, and I took Tank and Storm up the hill and into the woods some, and I let them play out there because when they're out playing, they don't go looking for a water source. They just eat whatever snow is closest to them, and a lot of the snow has rock salt in it right now. So they've been eating rock salt, and that's caused. I know that Storm for 3 days in a row he was puking. So that was exciting. So I try to take them out somewhere where they can eat the snow safely without getting sick. Other than that, I'm trying to get a move on getting the baby chickens here. But that's seemingly taking longer than anticipated.
They usually like to do that at Easter. You can get a Tractor Supply and pick them up for like $2 a piece.
They're so cute. I was in Tractor Supply the other day, and as I'm walking out the store, I'm texting Six. I'm like, "Is it time to get chicks and ducklings yet?" I'm like,
What kind of chickens are you guys looking to get?
Well, they have decided that I am no longer allowed to be in charge of choosing chickens. But I brought the chick order form from the local store home, and and Six did nothing with it for a few days. So I went through the list and I checked off the ones that I would like to have. So I told them that there's no guarantee that we'll get any of them. Yes, so there you have it. Because I'm not allowed to be in charge of chicken
You're no
choices.
You're no longer the chicken picker.
Yeah, I've been banned since I got the Frizzles and Sokies last year that are so super cute. They're like, you are no longer allowed to pick.
Yeah, a good one is the sex links, because you can actually tell whether you're getting roosters or hens when they're young, and also when they're done laying, or actually you want to do it a little before they're done laying, but they're a decent eating chicken as well.
We have, along with the Frizzles and Silkies that I got last year, I have picked some of the black sex links. But the order form that we get from the store, it's listed on there what the sex is. So whether it's a straight run, which is a mix, obviously, or a pullet. Yeah. So
I like the barred rocks. I always thought, as far as chickens go, they're actually a pretty decent looking one. They're all cute for a while.
I know, but they're all cute.
Then they turn into ugly fucking birds with foreskin on their face.
Well, I was looking at the blue Andalusian and the Colombian rock, and what was my other favorite? The mottled Houdans. Those were my three favorites.
Houdan chickens.
I know. They look kind of funky, but we'll see what happens. I'll let you guys know whenever we get them. Six did say that we have nowhere to put the chicks right now, and I'm like, what are you talking about? We have the basement at the vet house where they went last year. So, I'm like, and then he said, well, we've got to redo their basement. I'm like, if I can just get this freaking order in, then I can say we are getting chicks on this date, so you better have your shit together, because that's what I did last year.
Yeah, I'm not sure what variety my sister-in-law keeps, but man, the eggs are so fucking good. But they ought to be. Those chickens eat better than I do. I mean, she grows bean sprouts and shit just for the chickens to eat. But they're a brown egg, and they're really, really fucking good. After eating her eggs, I can't go to the grocery store and buy eggs. They have no fucking flavor to them.
Yeah, I don't know jack shit about chickens, so.
You just know how to choke one.
Oh, man.
That's,
I don't know.
yeah.
I look forward to and I was also told that ducklings are not happening right now, I guess. I don't know.
No ducking
But
for you.
I don't see why not. There's no point. Only because, you know what it is? Again, Six says that we have nowhere to put the ducklings once they grow up to be ducks. And I'm like...
Wouldn't a pond be good for that?
Well, but they go in at night. And I'm like, well, the black ducks have taken in the brown ducks, and they all get along now, so they could be on the same side of the house. And he goes, well, we'll get ducklings later because they grow wicked fast. I'm like, oh my God, you're making me wait forever. Oh shit, I double scheduled.
Blam blam. Google says double tap, bitches.
Looking through the chat, DV Snafu saying, why don't you just get geese?
Oh, they shit everywhere.
Yeah, we have enough issues with people eating with our dogs eating duck shit. We need them eating geese shit too.
I'm more worried about getting flogged by a fucking goose.
Right?
Like, shit.
They come back with goose shit up to their ears.
Right? Yeah, that'd be funny though.
My wife used to work on a farm. Unfortunately, the lady that owned it passed away. But they did wildlife rehabilitation, and there was I guess about 1.5 acre, maybe 2 acre pond on the property. And once the geese started shitting it up, man, the fucking water was green. The whole beach along the edge of the pond was all green with goose shit. It was pretty bad.
Like
we need to clean our
hunting.
pond. Yeah, we need to clean our pond. But that's it for the farm update. We can move along now because I know that people are getting antsy.
You have privates to go clean the pond.
Oh, shit. So what were you telling us earlier, Bender, about being special?
Oh. Well, when we were talking about, what terms are okay, not okay, like we can't say the retard word or even potato nowadays. Yeah, so a while back I heard this one word that I guess was an attempt to be politically correct, and I had no clue. I was on my way to Iraq, doing an SRP, and this nurse, civilian nurse, she asked me, so, is there anybody in your household that is exceptional? I had no idea what she was talking about, and I was like, well, I think my wife is pretty exceptional. And this lady just looks at me, rolls her eyes, she's like, I meant special needs, sir. I was like, oh, I don't know.
Like, how the fuck am I supposed to know what you mean by that?
Yeah, I'd never heard that term before, exceptional. To me, that's not what that word meant. And then I guess I could have fired back with something like, well, I mean, she married me, or or started in with the whole, my girl was a vegetable.
Oh,
shit. So, I mean, I was over 10 years ago, so now, every once in a while I'll get punched for making a comment about being exceptional.
Oh, my God.
Oh, you're so exceptional. We should start using that on the page. How many of you fuckers are exceptional?
Oh, man.
It'll probably take a while to catch on before that one becomes offensive like freaking potato.
I know, right? Well, I mean, that's how it's gonna go. So, oh, man. Do we just want to do the news early? Because I'm ready to talk about this whole gun thing. But most of my news is related to the gun thing.
Well, we can talk about it and then do the news articles later on after the breaks.
TV Spooky Cat, the first minute was when we explained why Bo isn't talking. Spooky Cat said, so I missed the first 8 minutes. So Spooky Cat, to refresh for the rest of us who already are aware, but to let you know, Bo is in chat, but he is not actually here because he had to get surgery, and he's still recovering from that, and he can't put his laptop on his couch.
Right on top of his lap.
There you go. So did that sort of make sense?
That's what happens when you sell your testes to science.
Right.
I tried to convince my wife we should do the same thing. It's like, well, we were done having kids. I don't need them anymore. Just hand me your purse. Let me go sell one.
Right. You can get those nudicle things they use for dogs now and get some plastic nuts.
Yeah. Do they click when you walk like a dog really fast?
like Benoit balls.
Oh man.
You get a good rhythm going, and you can sound like the Spoon Lady.
Oh, you get some sound like those it'd be like one of those little what the fuck you call those things where you pick one ball up on one side and it's got like the 6 of them and it bounces back and forth.
When you go to see your grandma, it activates her clapper and the lights keep turning on and off every time you walk.
Does she use the remote control for the clapper though?
What the fuck?
I'm just wondering.
What fucking genius came up with that idea?
Here, buy a clapper. It's great. You clap to turn it on, you clap to turn it off. Well, I'm too lazy to clap. I need a remote control for this. I remember the first time Bo brought that up. There's a remote control for the clapper, did you know? What's the point of buying a clapper if you want the remote control to go with it?
So, well, when you push the button, does the remote make like a pipe noise?
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't buy a clapper to begin with. I'm definitely not going to buy a clapper just to see if the remote control makes the clapping noise.
What I always wondered with the clapper is like, okay, so say you're having some very vigorous sex. Does that mean your lights start flickering on and off while you're going to town?
Fap on, fap off the fapper.
Oh, man.
Why are your lights flashing?
Well, you know.
Sir?
Oh, shit.
I'm trying to find out if the remote control makes a clapping noise.
Does your remote control have the clap?
You know, this is a PDF, and the question is, which appliances does the clapper work with? So here we go. We've got Christmas tree lights. It works with that. It works with fluorescent lights, LED light bulbs, regular light bulbs, a TV. Wow. You can use it with a TV. That's great. You can clap and turn it on. What the fuck? But the clapper does not work, or you should not use it with a coffee maker, a space heater, toasters, stuff like that. Yeah. I don't know why they would even come up with this whole thing.
Right. You mean I can't hook it up as a remote start for my truck?
I know, right?
I need a clapper for my chainsaw.
Oh my god. Wow. The things people come up with these days.
So I reckon it's about to be a muddy fucking mess up at the farm.
Oh my god. It's horrible. It's horrible. Oh. I'm wearing my muck boots all the time and I hate it. And I've been wearing jeans that I can just put into my muck boots so that the bottom of my jeans don't track mud everywhere, which I hate even more.
Rocking the skinny jeans, are you?
I am so done with mud season, and it's not like we've only just begun.
Yeah, it's a mess here because at my house we got about 13 inches in that last little snow, which I know is not New Hampshire snow, but it immediately started melting the next fucking day. So now everything is soup.
Yeah, it was like it's been like 70 degrees out here lately, so I've been wearing like t-shirts and shit. It's been nice.
It was beautiful when it was 70 out here. The ground was disgusting, but it was nice. Man.
I try to avoid mud at all costs. Like I probably look like some like little bitch because I'm on a lot of construction sites. There's always bare dirt, and when there is snow and stuff, it melts. There's all this mud. Like I hate walking through mud. Like after like that Afghanistan like peanut butter you have to walk through everywhere.
Yep.
Like I just fucking hate it.
Yeah, peanut butter, and then when you get onto a fob, they put those giant fucking ankle twisting rocks everywhere.
Oh yes.
Oh, here, these are easier for the troops to walk on. Great. Now that everybody's got bad knees and ankles.
And they can't figure out why. No, it's not service connected.
Right?
Could have happened at any time.
I was on.
I'm hoping that we'll be able to do hard pack when mud season is gone. We should be able to redo the driveway with hard pack. That'll prevent all this crap. Oh. I keep trying to get them to fix the driveway, but the problem is there's mud everywhere, so we can't even fix it. If it was partially mud and partially, so what we did last year, it was half mud and half just dirt, and so we basically moved all the regular dirt into the mud, and that kind of evened it all out. But can't even do that because it's just all mud.
Yeah, they paved the road. You know, we're in a rural area, so that doesn't happen very often, but they paved the road out in front of our house, I guess it was about 2 years ago. And I tried to talk him into bringing some of the roadway fines up, because, you know, our driveway's, an eighth of a mile long? Probably a quarter of a mile by the time you get to the houses that are all the way in the back. And it's all a big fucking muddy mess. So I tried to get them to dump the roadway fines up here because, you know, it's just ground up blacktop. So in the hot summer months when people drive over it, it packs down and makes a pretty nice surface. They wouldn't hook us up. I'm like, you guys
Of course
suck.
not.
No, it makes more sense to spend our tax dollars to truck it 80 miles away to dump it, instead of dumping it in my driveway that runs right off of the road you just paved.
When they pave the roads there, do they remove the old road and then actually like pave it properly, or do they just add 2 inches on top of the road that's currently there?
They grind a couple of inches off of the surface. That's what I was trying to get them to give me, was the shit they ground off.
Right.
And then once it's ground down, then they re-top it.
Oh, jeez.
So.
No, they don't even do that here. They just like spray some water on the crap road, and and then they just go over it. And I'm like, what are you actually doing here? Like they're not doing anything. Like my thinking is, if you're trying to repave the road because you got all these fucking potholes and shit in them, then do it properly, because what's going to happen? It's the same thing every year. All the frosties and everything else that they wanted to get rid of are magically back when winter comes.
Yeah, or when they do the tar and chip, where they just put down a layer of wet tar and then throw gravel all over the top of it. That slings all over the fucking cars and chips the shit out of everything.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, that's the word. It's not good for motorcyclists either, because not all of it sticks to the tar. You know, so somebody comes down the road and hangs a corner and hits a bunch of fucking loose gravel. Thank you, township.
Oh man, it's just It's crazy. They need to figure something out with this whole road thing. But that's just the way it is. Hey, did you guys know that Easter is an April Fool's Day?
I've seen a few memes about it.
Oh, the irony.
I know, isn't it great?
That's awesome. I did not put that together yet.
Yep, it's this year an April Fool. So I have seen a couple fun things to do for Easter, and one of those is taking grapes and wrapping them with the chocolate candy wrappers to make it look like they're chocolate Easter eggs, but they're really grapes. Of course, that's very time consuming depending on how many kids you have, but it would be hilarious.
One of the best ones I saw was to take Brussels sprouts and dip them in chocolate so they look like cake pops.
Oh, that's awesome.
Although I like how we're avoiding the obvious, like, Jesus Resurrection, April Fool's type jokes. Oh, God. Oh, had y'all... Okay, so I heard this Robin Williams skit, and he was talking about Easter, and he was talking about, like, how you went from crucifixion, resurrection, to chocolate bunnies and colored eggs. And he's like, I guess that's a lot more fun to find than spreading a bunch of raspberry jam in the yard and going, let's go find Jesus.
Oh, I miss Robin, man.
Yeah.
Hey, if you need another fun April Fool's Easter prank idea, you know those cake pops that people like to make? Take Brussels sprouts and put them on the stick and then cover them in chocolate to make it look like cake pops. There you go.
Fender just mentioned
so
that.
Excited.
Fender just mentioned that like 3 seconds ago. Okay.
I wasn't going to say it, but...
Oh, man.
This multitasking man.
Yeah, that's why I don't do it.
All right, well, I guess we're ready for a quick break.
Oh, no.
Yeah, right.
So soon?
Oh, so soon.
It seems to be going faster than in all of our other shows.
It is 9:33.
You're welcome.
Right. Right. Hey, the slow guy's making it faster. Oh, shit. You're exceptional, man.
Thanks, brother.
Right. So, you guys got anything before we go to break?
Just, you can dip Brussels sprouts in chocolate to make them look like cake pops.
Oh, sweet.
DV Radio.
You know what really grinds my gears? So many people think I care about their opinion, but I don't.
You know what I mean, Diane. You know that I love you. Now get out of my world.
Oh, you want to go and I press charges? Because look, I'm disabled and I have problems.
Leave us your 30-second rant on dysfunctionalveterans.com so you can hear it on the upcoming episode of Barracks Talk only on dvradio.net.
You, America. Fuck you.
Ever shop online at smile.amazon.com? Why not give back to the DV Farm by making it your charity of choice? No extra fees or hidden costs, and a portion of your purchase goes directly towards the DV Farm, located in Gilsum, New Hampshire, and helping to continue its mission. That's smile.amazon.com, and be sure DV Farm is your charity of choice. For more information about the DV Farm, please go to dvfarm.org.
You're listening to WDVR, only on dvradio.net. You're listening to Barracks Talk with DV6, Google, Recoil, Marquis Davis, and Bonerwood.
And we're back.
We are back. Unfortunately, apparently Bender has taken over Six's job and pushed a button which caused his laptop to fuck up and restart.
Blame it on Bill Gates. That's what I always do.
Oh, I can't post that. I was going to post a funny meme on the DV page, but then I realized there's language in the meme that will get banned for. So, and Six explicitly told me not to get banned.
Well, that's the pot calling the kettle black, isn't it?
I know. Before he went upstairs, he goes, "Don't get me banned." And I'm like, well, technically, I wouldn't be getting you banned because I'm publishing from my account, so I would get myself banned.
Yeah, what drives me crazy is there are so many other pages out there, and I see so many posts that I'm like, man, I would love to fucking share that on our page, but we'll get fucking banned for it. They can post it, it's no big deal, but as soon as it goes on the DV page, man, that's it. Somebody's getting a fucking ban hammer.
I know, right? Oh, man. It's too funny. I'm trying. So anything that's listed on the DV page as DV Google, that is me. I'm the one that did the post. Although DV Bender did send something to me to post, so I used his call sign on that. Which is normally what we do anyway.
Now, did Six put you in the chat that the moderators all can put stuff in for the front page?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's usually some pretty good shit in there.
Yes.
And then there's the DV censored chat, which is all the shit that we can't put on Facebook.
I know, right?
So the only thing with the post chat, sometimes even the mods will put stuff on there which is why they can't post on the page, because they put stuff on there that yes, it's hilarious, and no, our page will be shut down tomorrow.
I know, right? Oh my god, that's what's scary.
That's why I don't even screw with posting anymore. I mean, unless it's like a text post. But I throw it in the same place all the other mods do, and let Six make the call.
That's what I do sometimes. He's like, I'll see something really funny, and I'm like, that's gotta go. We have to post this, and so I show Six, and he goes, send it to me. I'm like, I'll put it in this one chat. Oh man. But I don't really post on the page anyway. But that's just me. But I do have the ability to. Which makes me feel so special.
Tonight, Google is planning on taking over the world.
I know. The day Six left me in charge of the page.
Oh shit! So are you still doing the horse training and barrel rides and all that stuff?
I don't do barrel rides. What the fuck are you talking about?
Why not?
Barrel rides. Jesus Christ. Oh my god.
Well, you don't do log rolling or anything like that?
No. Oh man. That's so funny. They're hilarious.
As many times as Six has cut himself with a chainsaw, you'll have to take one of the logs and throw it out in the pond and have him and the vets do log rolling.
Oh. Jesus Christ. No, I do. I'm still doing the horse training. Right now our horse is, he's coming back from being lame. And when they're lame, they can't do like all the work that you normally do. So I've been just like hand walking him for the past almost month. I'm like, man, it's so boring. But if it needs to be done, it needs to be done. And so there you go.
What do you do? Like twist an ankle or something?
No, he has, so on one of his hoofs, he has no heel. So with that, particular foot, he steps, because he's got no heel, it goes all the way down to the ground every time he steps. So he has like pads under his shoes to kind of like build it up a little. But then at the same time, he also has, because of that, he's got arthritis in that leg, and he has something that's called ring bone. And ring bone is when a horse tries to fix something and they actually grow bone where there shouldn't be any bone. So it's a it's a hot mess.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, it's just one of those, like.
Sucks you can't find a vet that could make like a prosthetic shoe that has a heel in it. My horse
I know,
wears
right?
high heels.
I know, but no, he'll be fine. He's, we're waiting for the farrier to come out because the degree that the pad is right now is just slightly too much. So we need to lower it. We actually need to change the degree by like 1 or 2 millimeters. I know that can make all the difference in the world. Such a tiny adjustment.
Apparently Bender's computer is the slowest computer in the universe. He says, God damn it, trying to get Skype to open. Well, you messaged us in Skype, so I'm thinking it's probably open.
Oh, man. That's so funny. Man. So funny. Oh, man. Of course it's got to be slow. Dun, dun, dun.
Right?
What are they talking about in fucking chat?
He's like, I don't know, I got this kick-ass Apple IIc.
That's what the problem is. It's an Apple.
Right.
It's not that kick-ass. Oh, man.
I think I'm back.
You are back. Statically back.
Oh, right.
You think you're back? Oh,
Well, maybe.
It's like the voice from beyond.
Oh, no. Alright, still moving right along.
Chat's still talking about Six doing a log roll. Now he has no choice. Oh, shit. That would be hilarious.
So, what else? Oh, and he's gone. Bye, Bender. Oh, man.
So we're busy as hell at the shop, which is good. A lot of the customers that I busted balls to obtain last year are coming back this year, which is pretty awesome, except for the fact that they're all coming back at once and they all need something right away.
Right? Of course. Isn't that how it always goes?
Yeah, it's the old saying, when it rains, it pours, you know.
Yep. But supposedly it's going to snow tonight.
Up there, maybe. It better not snow here.
I'm just not seeing it. I'm not feeling the snow.
Right.
It's not.
If it snows here, I'm calling in for napalm.
I had seen a pretty funny meme about Mother Nature being bipolar and being off her meds.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy when you have to wait until spring to go snowmobile riding.
We need a snowmobile up here.
Yeah. I was gonna donate one, but it was kind of a piece of shit, so I sold it instead. I figured you didn't need a piece of shit one up there. Plus, it was probably way too fast for 6, so. it was a racing sled, so I thought, well, this might not be ideal for the farm.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I had trouble starting it because it doesn't have electric start or anything. It's a pull start only, and with my back being all screwed up, it's a 500cc twin cylinder, and I had a hell of a time pulling that rope, and I just couldn't handle it. I was too much of a pussy with my back being all fucked up. So.
Well, then we definitely don't need that here because, 6's back is already all fucked up.
Right. Yeah, it was kind of a 2-man start. One person to sit on it and work the throttle while the other guy yanks like hell on the rope.
Oh, man.
Once it was warm, it would only take, one easy pull and it would start right up. But that first initial starting sucked.
Right. That's how one of our things
Bender doing?
He's trying to figure out how the fuck this computer works.
Hey, Dale, talking about me? Sorry, I made that.
Thump, thump, tap, tap. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. No, we can't.
Oh, man.
I don't know what to do.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
You're doing an exceptional job of filling in for 6. Oh, now Bonerwood has his title for the show, The Exceptional Show.
The Exceptional Show with a special ed mod.
We can't work this fucking computer.
I hate it. Like, even today, like when I was trying to do all the setup work for the show, and like people don't realize how much Bo does behind the scenes. I started about 10 o'clock this morning to get everything together and ready to go. And I didn't have any of my shit set up because I have a different laptop now. So like none of my stuff to broadcast was set up. So I'm trying to set it up, and then my computer decides that it's going to get an update. And then every piece of audio that I played sounded like horrible, really staticky and all fucked up. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So fortunately, a couple of restarts later, it was okay. But it drives me nuts when they update shit because like everything fucking changes sometimes, especially when you have like multiple software programs that are all working together in a chain. And then, Microsoft decides that it's going to reroute everything, so you're starting from square one.
Well, you did ask me to send you the news link so you could pull some sound.
Yes, and that was my intention, and of course I never got to it. I'm sitting here looking, and it's like fucking, what was it, like 2030, and I'm like, ugh, I'm fucked.
Oh, man.
I think it was about 1930 when I was like, ugh, I'm fucked. Well, that's before I burnt my pizza to a crisp. So if you've never had black pizza, you should try it.
Woo! Oh, it's so funny. Everything is hilarious these days. Just until it's not.
Right. Where is Marquis? Marquis working. Marquis.
I know.
Yeah,
I can't believe he got a night shift job on a Saturday.
Right. There.
Come on.
You got to start with the shitty shift. So. Marquis got a night shift job that he hates. But it's a job.
Yep.
So I was talking to him about it last night. It's like a production type job. And I told him the story. I did that years ago. I got a job at a shoe factory. And I put soles on shoes for a living. But everything is done by piece rate. So I was there for about 3 weeks. And I was one of their highest paid people. because of my piece rate. And of course, everybody there fucking hated me because now that meant they had to fucking work too, because the bosses could see how much work you could actually get done in a day's time. And that's pretty much what Marquis is facing now. He's cranking out the work, and all the lazy fucks that have been there forever are starting to, oh, you're making us look bad. Kind of bullshit. No, you're making your fucking self look bad.
You know what's kind of funny about that? I had a job, and it was the same thing. I was the fastest fucking worker. I ended up getting fired because no one, like, I could do the work in one morning that everyone else took 3 days to complete. I'm like, so you get rid of your best employee because of that exact reason, because I made everyone else look bad.
Right.
Like, that's how it's been. Like, any job I've ever had, I always make everyone else look bad, and then they all hate me. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, my brother ended up with that situation. He fucking, I guess they had some kind of a government contract with the place that he was working. It was in engineering. And he wrote a software program that did testing of the systems that they tested, but it did it like automatically overnight. So he decided he was going to test out this software package, and he ran it, and it did like 3 months worth of work in one night, and they fucking fired him because they couldn't keep their government contract if the government would find out that it could be done that fast.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he should have gotten millions for the software, but yet he got fucking fired for it.
Of course.
And I'm sure they probably fucking took it and sold it by now.
Jesus Christ. Oh, how old were you when you got your first job?
Me?
Yeah. I mean, like your first real job, where you had to pay taxes.
I guess 14 when you're legally allowed to work, but I worked long before that. Yeah. I went around the neighborhood with a frickin' push mower. You know, I shoveled snow. I did whatever I could do to make money because I wanted things. You know, one of the things my dad did that was really good. My dad was a good provider. I mean, we started off poor because my parents were like fucking 17 when I was born, but by the time they, moved along in life, my dad was a good provider. But, like for school clothes for the year, he would pay for the cheap ass jeans. He would pay for like the lowest budget sneakers and shit. And if you wanted Levi's jeans and you wanted Nike sneakers, you worked during the summer and put that towards his money that he gave you to get clothes with. And that was a good lesson because he basically said, if you want the finer things in life, you're going to have to fucking work for them.
My first job I was 14, but I was working in a restaurant, but they were paying me under the table because it was a little family-owned joint.
All right.
And
so you were not paying taxes?
No, it probably wasn't.
No.
No, yeah, it probably wasn't until 18 when I started working jobs where I actually had to pay taxes. Because when I was 16, I was also I was working in a construction job, but I think I was too young to work that, so they were paying me under the table too.
Right.
Yeah, I was my first, I guess, legit on the books job was a bag boy at a grocery store. And then I worked up to cashier, and then I worked up to shelf stalker, and then I worked up to dairy manager, which is just glorified shelf stalker, except you actually ordered the shit too. And then I also worked at a restaurant after my shift at the grocery store as a line cook. This is while I was in high school. I was 16. I had an apartment. I was out of my parents' house. So I had my half of the rent to pay. I had a roommate, but I had my half of the rent, electric, cable, all that bullshit to pay. Nobody would give you anything but fucking minimum wage because you were a high school kid. And that's why I actually ended up quitting school, because I was fucking working all the time. I mean, I was getting 2 or 3 hours of sleep if I was lucky, and trying to go into school. And I went into my guidance counselor and talked to him about it, and that motherfucker I would still love to run into so I could punch him in the fucking face. never even mentioned to me that there was a program called Co-op where you can go to school in the morning and then go to work in the afternoon and still be able to graduate high school.
Oh, why would they mention that? Come on.
Yeah, I mean, why would they do their fucking job and actually counsel you, you know?
Right? Get with the program.
So,
Jeez.
yeah, so I ended up quitting school, and that's when I got into construction and shit. So, but I ended up graduating high school in 2009. The Army sent me through APS, which is an Army preparatory school, which was actually a lot of fun. It was an awful lot like basic training, only a hell of a lot worse because none of them were actual drill sergeants. They were all a bunch of fucking hard-nosed infantry sergeants that would smoke us until people puked and shit. Because really the program was set up for like second chance kids, people that were pretty much fuck-ups that needed to get their lives together. But during that program, you also took all of your schooling and stuff that you needed to get your GED, and then they do like a pre-test. And
right.
I ended up like the first week there, I took the pre-test because they want to see what classes you need to work on. And they're like, "Oh, dude, you're good. You just need to take the test and you'll be out of here." So that's what I did. Took the test and I was out of there. So that was in Fort Jackson. So, but that was great because I thought we were just getting a GED. Well, how it ends up being an actual high school diploma. So all those years later, even though, you know, I already had a career and everything before I even joined the Army. That's why I went in as a reservist. But, so I had gotten past that hurdle. I had been given opportunities that I proved myself and busted my ass and kept working my way up. But still, just to put that fucking chapter behind me of, "Oh, you're a high school dropout," you know, it felt good to put that behind me.
You know, I've never really understood the whole...
Like stigma?
Yeah, like, okay, so what? Like there's a lot of people that never finished high school that are actually wicked smart and are doing good things. So, oh, man.
Yeah, I ended up dropping out, and I got a GED, and I'm not necessarily ashamed to admit it. I mean, I kind of wish I could go back to my high school counselor now who try to talk me into staying, because I get dropped out for a lot of the same reasons you did, Recoil, and but I still like to slap one of my pay stubs on his desk, because I'm pretty sure I make more money than he does now.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it was fucking... It was different times back then. Like, you know, not everybody had everything coming to them, you know. You had to fucking bust your ass for what you wanted out of life.
Well, you still do, but most people don't realize that now.
Yeah. I'm going to go get a college degree in feminism. That's
I don't understand why nobody wants to hire me.
Right.
I know, right?
Right.
Jesus. People are so retarded.
Right. I have a soup can through my earlobe and tattoos on my throat. And yeah. I hired a kid at the shop that's got fucking them goddamn gauges in his ears and shit. I'm like, dude, you know, you're setting yourself up to never be able to go into like management and shit like that, you know. And I'm not saying, you know, I'm all for tattoos, honestly. If my wife wasn't entirely against them, I would have sleeves on both sides. And, you know, I love ink, but don't put it on your face. Don't put it on your fucking throat, you know. There's like, I just think that's like overboard.
Yeah.
Well, you know how it is.
Right.
But don't use that as your excuse as to why you can't get a job.
Right.
Or, but I know what I was saying. Jesus Christ.
Right. The real reason you can't get a job is because you're a fucking idiot.
All right. There's too many of them out there.
Well, now
you're too exceptional for this position.
Right. Exactly. You're exceptionally overqualified. But nowadays, and you know, I don't. Yeah, fuck it, I'm old. But it's not like you fucking whippersnappers. But seriously, no, you know, this generation now, like, they all want to come in making the kind of money that their father makes. Your father didn't start off making that kind of money, and you're not going to either. Like, you got to start at the bottom and work your way up. And then you go get some college degree that is absolutely fucking worthless, and then you wonder why you're not making $20, $25, $30 an hour right out of fucking college. It's like, you have a degree in nothing, and I'm not even big on degrees. I agree 100% with Mike Rowe when he talks about trade schools and shit. That's where it's at. You know, you go to a trade school, it's an actual job that you can go and get right out of trade school. You take welding or machine shop or auto mechanics.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good paying jobs out there.
Be great. One of my kids would do great in a trade school. He wouldn't be. He likes building stuff. I mean, when he was fucking 3, you could get him a remote control car and he would take it apart and put it back together just to see how it worked. And I'm like, what the fuck?
That's awesome.
You ask him.
No, go ahead, Google.
Oh, sorry. I was kind of done.
Oh, sorry.
I was, but then I wasn't, but then I was. So there you go.
But now I am.
Perfect. My oldest boy, like, he's in, like, his grade level math class. He's in high school. And, like, he's struggling to stay up above a C because I know he can do better than that. So I demand he gets grounded if he gets below a C because I know he can do better. And he struggles to maintain that C in his math class. But then in his, like, he does these robotics and these electronics classes where he's learning shit that, I mean, he's learning words I've never even heard of. And he's got, like, aces in them. And I'm like, dude, I know you're doing math in these classes. It's more advanced than your regular math class. And you're telling me you can't fucking pass that shit? Come on.
All right, you're sitting there figuring out formulas based on Ohm's law. But you can't learn your times tables. Yeah.
But think about it this way. So sitting in math class is boring as shit. I mean, come on. I hated math. That was I wanted to be a math teacher at some point, but then, one of my math teachers made me fucking hate it even more. So, but there's those classes that are just boring, and it doesn't matter if you can do it in one class because it's the way that it's being taught. So in his robotics class, yes, he might be doing other math, but it's the way that they're teaching it that's making it normal. Like word problems. I don't care if Sally had 80 apples and she gave 6 to Tommy, and Tommy, I didn't care about that. Like, I didn't understand that. It never made sense. I'm like, what?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do, like, at least in the case of my son, is like the whole robotics and electronics that actually intrigues him. And so I think that's why he does well there.
Well,
whereas,
plus,
like you're saying, in the regular math class, it just fucking sucks. You got someone sitting up the front sounding like the Charlie Brown teacher. Wah, 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 carry the one.
Now, is your school district Common Core?
No, thank God.
Oh, so they use
so lucky.
They use like real math, right?
Yeah.
Because Tyler's school they use Common Core, and I'm looking at the math that they're asking these kids to do, and I'm like, it's insane. It's so fucking stupid. I can't even describe it. And like one of the problems I had with math in high school was they always wanted you to show your work. Well, I didn't necessarily do it the way that they taught, but I could come up with the right answer. Whether it was counting on my fingers and toes or whatever the hell I had to do, I could come up with the correct answer, but I didn't show my work.
Right.
But now what they're showing, their idea behind it is to show that there are different ways to come up with the answer. But when some of them are absolutely fucking stupid and take 5 times longer than it needs to come to the answer, that's not helping your kids. And then the kids think that the fucking parents are stupid because the parents are looking at it being like, I don't know, man. I can't even tell you what 7 + 5 is the way they're doing it.
You know I don't speak Spanish.
Right.
I don't either. You are not alone. It's why I couldn't get a job at Social Security. I was more than qualified, but oh, you don't speak Spanish, so you're not qualified. I'm like, why do I need to know Spanish? This is America.
Right.
I know English.
Right? Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Right, like, come on. Oh, man, that shit drove me nuts, too.
But if you have any Swedish immigrants...
Yeah. Well, I'm not from Sweden, but... Hey.
I know. I can never fucking remember if you're Danish or Swedish or New Holland or wherever the fuck you're from.
I'm Dutch.
Deutsch, yeah. Okay.
No, that's German. Deutsch is German. Dutch is Dutch.
Dutch is Dutch. Do you have clogs?
I do not.
Oh, you gotta have clogs.
She does. She has them. She only wears them though when 6 is frisky.
I don't have any clogs.
Do you at least have a pair?
We go through this conversation all the fucking time.
Do you at least have a pair of Crocs?
No.
I do. I'm wearing them right now.
They're like Ugg boots. I mean, come on. Oh, man.
So Crocs are the American version of clogs.
Right. Just instead of wooden clogs, we wear rubber clogs.
Yeah.
Oh, man. No.
I actually started wearing Crocs in the Army because they're like the best shower shoe ever. There's nothing like wearing a fucking pair of flip-flops and having to walk across gravel and shit. And I swear, the ones that they sell at the PX are like the slipperiest fucking flip-flops on the planet. You're either slipping out of them or you're parting your toes all the way back to your ankle.
Oh.
Yeah, I always spend a few extra dollars for some good shower shoes.
I don't.
Well, good for you.
She just suffers from foot fungus.
I do not. I have my flip-flops, and then I have my shower flip-flops.
Oh, shit.
So there you have it.
So do you guys have any road trips planned for the summer, or is everything still early stages?
I don't fucking know. 6 will tell you yes. But our first road trip has already been canceled. I know, that's crazy, right?
Due to budget cuts, this road trip has been canceled.
It has to be. Well, okay, so this is what happened. We were going to hit the road, and 6 was going to be in someone's wedding. But then we got a call, and the local Legion, well, the Legion in one of the towns around here has been shut down, and they're trying to donate all the money to all these different organizations, right? So one of the guys, one of the officers was like, "Hey, it's great that we're donating to all these places, but what about donating some money to an actual veteran organization that helps homeless veterans and not, like." So he kind of screwed up, I guess, sorta on the speech thing. So he asked if we could come down to their next meeting, which is on April something. I don't remember when. So the first road trip has been canceled because we now have to do that. Yep. Which reminds me, on April 7th, there's a fundraiser. Shit, and I don't have all the details on this because 6 has all the details on this. There's a fundraiser in Mass, and if Bo is still in chat and he is listening, then maybe he can put some of this information in chat because I can't remember all the details. But there is a fundraiser for the farm on April 7th in Massachusetts. It's a bike run and then a chili cook-off. But like I said, I don't know all the details on that. Because I am that good. There you
Well,
go.
I can assure everybody listening to DV Radio that I also don't know any of these details.
I know nothing.
But since our road trip has been canceled, we can now go to that other fundraiser as well. I'll try to find the email. I'll look. Oh, I guess I should have responded to this guy. Ah, this was the guy that was supposed to come on and talk about the fundraiser. Guess that's not happening.
Oh, you have fundraiser?
I know, right? Hold on. Oh, Jesus. I just lost it.
Boner's talking in the chat about something about Polar Run and Chili Cook-Off. By the fundraiser you're talking about.
That is exactly what I'm talking about.
I can just hear Boner like screaming right now.
I know, right? I found the email. Hold on. Okay, so it's being hosted by the Infidels Motorcycle Club. It's their first annual Polar Bear Run and Chili Cook-Off happening on April 7th. And it's starting at 10 a.m. for registration to noon. And it's for a single rider, it's $20, and a double rider is $30. It's at there's a location. It's in Tingsboro, Mass. There you go. So yeah, go to originalinfidelsmc.com for more information on that. There you go.
Awesome.
From Bonerwood, 10 a.m., 10 p.m. More next Saturday.
There you go.
So tune in next Saturday to learn more about this event.
Hey, Recoil, when I came to pick up the puppy, I had dropped off some Oreos for you.
Yes, which I have to tell you, the cinnamon roll ones, oh my god. If they weren't, I wish they weren't double stuffed. Like, all Oreos are double stuffed now. And I don't need my Oreos double stuffed. First off, it makes them, I like to dunk them in milk. And like, if you're pinching them when you dunk them in milk, they always open up and fall the fuck apart because there's so much cream in the middle of them. So Dee really liked the red velvet. And the cinnamon ones, the cinnamon heart ones, I'm going to be eating this evening.
Nice. Yes. What about the Peeps marshmallow ones?
I haven't gotten to them yet, and the mint ones we haven't either. I don't do the mint, but she does.
Okay.
So I'll let you know what she thinks.
Yeah, I was looking for just the one, and then I saw all these others. I'm like, this is Oreo heaven right now. But I don't eat Oreos anymore, so.
Google's like, wait a minute, and she reaches into the car and comes out with this giant fucking bag jammed full. I'm like, holy fuck, there's like 15 pounds of Oreos here. I'm like, okay, that's worth a puppy.
I told you I was going to bring you some Oreos.
Yeah, but I didn't know you were bringing all of them.
Well, I didn't know that either until I was at the store.
My fuel mileage went down like 10 miles to the gallon. All of my truckload of Oreos back.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I wished I'd have had enough time to make it all the way up there to see at the farm, but I'm glad you came and met me there. It sucks that we pretty much had to do the swap of Oreos and dog, and all right, see ya. People in the parking lot watching are probably people in the parking lot watching are probably like, did they just swap Oreos for a dog?
It was a drug deal.
Yeah, right. That's pretty much
you
it.
got the stuff, as long as it's not double stuffed.
Right. Right.
I feel about double.
These are some pharmaceutical grade Oreos. This ain't no street stuff.
Although my personal opinion on double stuffed Oreos, though, is if you don't like double stuffed Oreos, you know who else doesn't like double stuffed Oreos? Fucking ISIS. So if you don't like them, then go fucking join them, alright?
Oh, shit.
The more the merrier.
The more the merrier. Jesus.
He likes this cream running off his chin. And on that note, we got to take another break. When we get back, we'll have junk that's in the news with DV Google.
On the next episode of the Service Dog Show with PTSDog, I talk with disgruntled vets Nevermore about veteran suicide, the issues created by the media's lack of clarity in its portrayal of service dogs in the news, service dogs from a retail store's perspective, and more. That's the Service Dog Show with PTSDog, airing at 8 p.m. Eastern Sunday right here on dvradio.net. WDVR.
DV Radio is for our fellow brothers and sisters, and it's all free of charge for our listeners, our guests, and even those that have shows right here on dvradio.net. We do everything in-house, from mixing and recording ads and shows to the website and all that you get from us. We love promoting veteran-owned businesses and highlighting those in the veteran community. So if you would like to continue to hear what we bring to you and have even more in the future with the best quality that we can possibly bring to you, please head over to dvradio.net and click that PayPal donation button. Any amount is welcome, from $1 to $100 million that your uncle lets you in his trust fund. So please head over to dvradio.net and click that PayPal donation button right now.
DV Radio, the number one stop on the internet for veterans and service members. WDVR on dvradio.net.
You big dummy. When a president lies, it's not called a lie. It's called executive privilege. I'm Fred G. Sanford, and the G is for Guadalcanal. Want to see my diary? Were you a veteran? That's right. Oh, did you see much action? Well, only on leave.
And now, it's time to find out what stupid junk is in the news.
Oh, right. And we are back. All right. So I'm going to go through some of these pretty fast because they're kind of weird anyway. I think I have too many links open. All right. So we'll go with this one first. This was actually from March 11th. So it would have been in last week's show, but we didn't have a last week's show. So we're doing it tonight. Toronto therapist had sex with male patient. Now, all right, whatever. You know, a therapist, he had sex with his male patient. It's not so weird. The problem here is that this Toronto psychiatrist, not just therapist, psychiatrist, who considered homosexuality a disorder, had sex with his male patients.
So he's considering himself nuts?
Right. It's like, really?
Either way, he's having some nuts.
I know.
Maybe he's just trying the whole don't knock it till you try it, I guess.
So one man, identified as patient A, met with Iskov over fears he was gay and soon found the doctor making advances. This progressed on later occasions to mutual masturbation and oral sex.
Oh, so you can say that patient A put it in slot B, huh?
And the other patient came to Iskov with depression and anxiety, but identified as heterosexual, which Iskov dismissed as a way of denying his homosexuality. The two men apparently engaged in mutual masturbation and oral and anal sex in his office.
Damn, they're covering all the bases.
The psychiatrist who considers homosexuality a disorder seems to be a homosexual who's trying to turn people homosexual. I mean,
the next patient that comes in, hey, you might not want to sit on that couch.
I'm sorry, but I think that's an issue. I'm glad that he will probably lose his license.
Well, yeah, because if he was still billing them, wouldn't that be prostitution?
Yes, that's a very good point. I hadn't even thought of that. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. Now, just to be clear, I have nothing against people that are gay or bi or any of those acronyms, whatever letters that you identify with. But I think
it's still funny to joke about.
It is, especially when it's a psychiatrist and he's treating patients and he believes that it's a disorder, which I don't believe it is, but he thinks so. But then he's having sex with his patient.
Right? Yeah, I say whatever floats your boat. What you do in your bedroom is your business. Okay, I don't give a shit.
I know, right? That's my theory. All right. Officials kill snapping turtle that was fed a live puppy by a teacher in school.
Damn, that was a big snapper.
I know. So the so-called notorious snapping turtle has been euthanized. Now, the reason is because, I mean, he ate a puppy and a teacher fed him the live puppy, which I'm sorry, but that's kind of gross. Like, come on. Really?
Should we have euthanized the teacher?
I know. I was thinking that. I'm like, that teacher should definitely have been fired or maybe even gotten the death penalty. Who feeds a live puppy to a snapping turtle in biology class?
Right. That is biology.
Yeah.
Less
than that.
Did you see the
Watch
message?
How fast this turtle. Go ahead, Treacle.
Did you see the message? Sorry to change the subject, but Google, did you see the message from Marquis?
Yes, I did.
So Marquis says, so I'm on break and I'm wearing my DV hoodie. Some young guy asked me, did I serve? I say, yes. He says, what war? World War II? I said, no, World War I, you fucking idiot. And as I said, Marquis hates his new job.
The turtle was without a permit, so I guess I don't know. Not like that makes it any better that the teacher.
You have to have a permit to have a fucking turtle?
It's a snapping turtle, yes.
I had a pet snapping turtle for a while.
Yes.
I had to turn her loose because I was afraid she was going to come through the side of the tank because she got huge.
Should have just flushed her down the toilet.
Well, this particular snapping turtle you couldn't flush down a toilet. It wouldn't even fit in the bowl. Just letting you know. California coffee shop bans cops for physical and emotional safety of our customers. This is Hasta Muerte Coffee in Oakland, California. So they asked a local police sergeant to leave after he stopped by for a cup of joe. And the shop with a name that means until death in Spanish, which I don't speak Spanish, so I'm glad that they put the translation into the story. Is a worker-owned co-op with policy of turning away law enforcement officials.
What, you don't speak America's first language?
Listen, English is already my second language. I didn't want to learn a third.
Because you had to learn Danish first.
What?
No, I had to learn Dutch.
German.
I don't need to learn some language that has like masculine and feminine words and shit.
I mean, come on. We're gonna ban police officers from a coffee shop for the customers' emotional safety and physical safety.
Right. If they weren't all packing a pound of buds in their pocket, they wouldn't be worried about it.
Well,
Hating cops is so 2017.
I know, right? But then again, I mean, they might as well have a sign out front that says gun-free zone.
Right?
Pretty much.
Cop-free zone.
God. And remember a few weeks ago, we covered a story, did I cover the story? I don't even fucking remember what happened like yesterday. So, but there was a teacher in California that was bashing the military, saying that they're the lowest of low. This was a while ago. Well, that teacher has been fired. Thankfully, it took them long enough to fire this idiot.
Oh, what a shame.
Oh, I know, so sad. So sad.
I laughed when he got fired. I mean, I think he's a dumbass, yeah, but yeah.
I know.
I don't know. I won't go into that one.
So, all right. As we all know, March 16th was the massive gun control walkout at all the schools. And I may not have agreed with it, but whatever. Like, that's my personal opinion. So anyway, there's a student in Ohio who did not partake in the gun control walkout. He instead stayed in his classroom where he was supposed to be to begin with, and he got suspended for it.
Yeah, I heard about that, and that's insane.
Yes.
You know, like...
Yes.
I'm
Jacob Shoemaker. Sorry.
No, I'm all for supporting the kids as far as, you know, allowing them to exercise the right to assembly and the right to freedom of speech. But that right to freedom of speech covers people on both sides of any debate. And that's where I have a real fucking issue.
Exactly. So Jacob Shoemaker, he's a senior at Hilliard Davidson High School in Hilliard, Ohio. He had actually told his dad, he said, "The biggest problem, Dad, is that there shouldn't be politics in the classroom. I may just sit in my seat. As far as I'm concerned, that's the least intrusive of the choices I've been given. And the two choices were to either join other students that didn't want to protest and join them in study hall, or to join the protest." So when the walkout began, Shoemaker decided to remain in his seat. And he was given an out-of-school suspension, and the note read, "Student refused to follow instructions after being warned repeatedly by several administrators. Student not permitted on school property for 24 hours. And his dad said basically the exact same thing that you said, Recoil. He said he stayed in the classroom where he was supposed to be in the first place. It's kind of ironic.
Yeah.
So there you have it. So
that's the thing.
So he got... Sorry.
For what?
I don't know, because you were starting to say something, and then I was continuing.
Well, that's okay.
We're married. We're used to having women talk over us.
Right. Well, plus I'm used to doing this show with DV6, so.
True. True. So this kid did not participate in the school walkout, and he got, like I said, out of school suspension. Now, here's the flip side. All right, you ready for this one? Conval High School in Peterborough, Massachusetts. I mean, New Hampshire. Sorry, there's Peterborough, Mass. Also, but no, in Peterborough, New Hampshire, the students there received detention because on March 16th, it was a snow day. No one went to school anyway, so they postponed their school walkout. And so they were then given detention because they didn't walk out when they should have, I guess.
To me, a big part about teaching and allowing kids to learn to exercise their rights, including the right to freedom of speech, is also the fact that there is a time and a place for everything.
Yep.
And during the school day, it's not the time nor the place.
I know.
Well, maybe we're looking at this all wrong. Maybe all the teachers were thinking, like, I've got a chance to sneak back into the teacher's lounge and top off my bourbon while the kids were out. So maybe that's why they were getting suspended. I mean, benefit of the doubt, I guess.
It's just not a good thing to teach kids that, oh, hey, in the middle of the workday, you can just walk out of your workplace and sit out for whatever reason you feel is necessary, and then just come right back to work like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, because in the real world, I'll get your ass fired.
Right.
I know. It's one of those. Now, I've been asking some people about, like what security measures have been taken at their kids' schools, and the overwhelming response is none or none that I'm aware of. There are some schools that have changed the rules, such as the school where the shooting happened in Florida. They have decided that students are required to have clear backpacks during the school day. So CNN did some interviews and stuff and posted an article, and part of it says some students have said they're not happy with the changes. Tyra Hemans, 19, a senior, told CNN she supports parts of the new policy, such as the ID requirement, but she believes other security measures, such as forcing students to carry clear backpacks, don't adequately address the real problem with school safety, which she says is lax gun laws. And then she is quoted for saying, "I'm not happy with it. Why are you punishing me for one person's actions?" Well, I wonder, why are you punishing? Why are you trying to punish so many because of one person's actions?
Oh, the irony in that statement.
I know. There is another school that's doing something. They've beefed up their security measures, and this is in Pennsylvania. Sorry, Recoil. I don't know who wanted to think of this one. In Harrisburg, this is so retarded. It's just laughable. So a rural Pennsylvania school district has equipped all 200 of its classrooms with buckets of rocks that students and teachers could use as a last line of defense in the event of a school shooting. Because rocks are going to stop a bullet.
No, but they will break your bones. Sticks and stones.
The problem here is that, I'm sorry, you would have to step out into the hallway in front of a shooter and throw a rock at him.
I think it's awesome.
Or her.
Hey, David killed Goliath with a rock.
I mean
that's possible. I mean, most of these fucktards that are shooting places, they've had no real training.
How well
you start throwing rocks at them, they're going to be like, oh god, what am I going to do?
How well can you shoot with 25 kids pelting you in the face with rocks?
There's going to be at least, statistically, there's going to be at least one or two baseball players on that team, right? In that classroom, right? I mean, one or two of those rocks are going to strike home.
60-mile-an-hour boulder.
So it says...
Get the shot put team out there with boulders.
It does say that the buckets are just one of the measures that Blue Mountain School District in Orwigsburg, Pennsylvania, has put in place this academic year, along with security cameras, secured building entrances, and fortified classroom doors, which I all agree on those. But Superintendent David Helsel said in a telephone interview, "We didn't want our students to be helpless victims. River stones were my idea. I thought they would be more effective than throwing books or book bags or staplers."
How about grenades?
I was thinking flamethrowers, like put a flamethrower on the top of each door.
Shoot him with a harpoon.
The school board did approve the rock buckets before they were put in the classroom. So let me get this straight. Hold on. You are now giving students buckets of rocks in your school. What do you think is going to happen? Any kid can take a rock out of the bucket and throw it at their classmates. It's like
at least they're trying without saying let's ban guns. That's hey.
they are
effort,
trying,
right?
There are more reasonable security measures are the security cameras, secured building entrances, and fortified classrooms doors. Those will actually go a long way. Hopefully these students don't need to use the rocks.
I'm still down with the grenade idea.
No. But so that's your now here's the issue that I have. One of the issues, I have a lot of issues with this whole gun debate, but one of the issues is this. So the march that happened today, let's just call it what it is, an anti-gun march. It wasn't, it was like the March for Our Lives, which was endorsed. There were numerous different groups, obviously, that endorsed this whole thing and made it happen. But Planned Parenthood is one of these organizations. And I'm like, that's great. You know, my daughter would not be alive if I had taken the advice of Planned Parenthood and had an abortion. So why are they involved in this March for Our Lives thing? They are killing babies.
Yeah, they're in the business of killing children.
So that is one of my issues. Now, my other issue is this.
They care because they can't make any money off of teenagers getting killed.
I know, right? Now, here's my issue with this. So, in the Florida shooting, which is where all of this started, law enforcement dropped the ball. Everyone is saying, oh, we need better laws and more laws, and we need this and we need that. And I'm like, all of these things were already in place, and none of them stopped the shooting that happened in Florida, for one. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. When law enforcement and the FBI were already notified numerous times, then it shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened. Anyway, so the other thing is, they're out in the streets saying, ban assault weapons. Do any of these people know what an assault weapon is? Because if you look up the definition of assault weapon, it is a semi-automatic firearm with a detachable magazine and a pistol grip. Now, if you look up the definition of semi-automatic firearm, it is any firearm which automatically ejects a single spent cartridge, chambers another round, and prepares the firearms to be fired again. So, banning all assault weapons means banning all guns.
That's what they were going for.
Yes, but nobody wants to admit that because everyone is saying, well, no, we just don't think that assault weapons should be out there. Because you're only thinking of one weapon that you think would be classified as an assault weapon.
Well, the term assault weapon didn't exist until what, like 1960 something, like right around the Vietnam War, is when the term assault weapon even became a thing. And once you make up this term, now you have to define what it is. Right. So that's how they chose to define it. And that's my whole issue with all of these fucking anti-gun dipshits. It's just like, fucking educate yourself. They're so fucking ignorant about guns. It's like, fuck. Just,
yep.
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Educate yourself just a little bit, and then talk to me about it. When you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, just shut the fuck up. And that's the problem, is nobody knows what the fuck they're talking about.
Oh, yeah, I mean, when there are literally millions of ARs and AKs throughout the country, you know, if it was that much of a temptation or that much of an issue with everybody that has one is going to mow people down, well, none of us would be left by now.
I know.
Everyone remember that quote from the Japanese emperor in World War II, like the reason they didn't invade the mainland? Because there was going to be a rifle behind every blade of grass? Yeah. I don't know. Just ignorance, and then like these idiot it's ignorance and selfishness.
Yeah.
Like, everyone is complaining about the clear backpacks now. Infringing on their rights. It's like everyone wants rights taken away until it affects them. They're like, well, wait, no, you can't do that.
Right.
And most of these retards who are demanding get rid of assault weapons or take all guns, it's because it doesn't affect them. But they don't understand that that's where it starts. You open the door, you give them an inch, they're going to take a fucking mile. But these people don't care because they don't have anything. They're ignorant about guns. They don't own guns. It means nothing to them. But once their rights that actually affect them when things that start affecting their rights starts hitting them, that's when it becomes a problem. So as long as it doesn't affect them, they don't care.
Yeah. I had to laugh. I've always hated the argument of, oh, you think because with the Second Amendment, when Second Amendment supporters come up with the defensive look, the reason the Second Amendment was written so that we could defend ourselves from a tyrannical government. And their argument is, oh, you think you could take on the U.S. government with nothing but guns? And then I just saw recently somebody made that comment and then posted a picture of, oh shit, I can't think of the name of the group now. Mujahideen in Afghanistan. The Mujahideen were locals, and they fought against the Russians, for crying out fucking loud, and they fought against them with like Afghan Jazeels, which are a fucking muzzleloader, until we armed them. And the entire country of Russia couldn't take over little old Afghanistan. So yes, because you can't defeat a group without actually taking over the soil. It always requires boots on ground. You can't eradicate everybody with bombs without eradicating literally everybody.
Exactly. And why is it that, all right. So a person goes into a bar, right? He gets shit-faced drunk. He gets behind the wheel to drive home. He ends up in a car crash and kills someone during this. Why is it that we blame the drunk driver, but not, I don't know, the car or the bar where he was drinking or even the company that made the alcohol? Why is that? But if someone shoots up a school or a concert, we blame the gun. On the same hand, though, if a police officer shoots someone, then we blame the police officer, but not the gun. No one seems to know the answer to this.
Right.
I hate people.
I know. Welcome to my world.
The world of sucky people.
The world of Google is a terrifying place.
It is. It really is. Because, it's so stupid. I think about the stupidest shit at the weirdest hours. And I'm like, well, why can't we just answer this question? But then there's times that actually do make sense. And the voices in my head don't talk to me.
I come up with some of my best thoughts on the shitter.
Come up with a lot of my best ones while I'm drinking my beer in the shower.
Shower beer.
Yes. DV Oink had a good one. He said, "Welcome to the double standard."
Yep.
And really, that's what it is.
But even that, you can't say something like that to half of the people, because then they're just like, well, what are you talking about? It's not a double standard. I'm like, yes, it is. But their argument is never something that's actually usable.
The only cure for ignorance is to remove warning labels. Bring back natural selection.
Yeah.
I did one of my little bits about that here a while back.
I think so. It'd be great.
It just drives
Natural selection is the way to go.
Drives me crazy, like how much fear people have. They fear guns because they don't understand guns. They don't understand households in rural America that grew up with guns, where everybody in the family knows how to fire a gun and has never once considered using it against another human being.
Yeah.
Yeah, I shouldn't say considered, because everybody considers home defense and self-protection, but they're not looking to go out and fucking shoot somebody.
No, they don't want to go shoot somebody for the sake of shooting somebody. They'll do it in the manner of self-defense, but not just for the fun of it.
Right.
Because people are that sick, you're not gonna rehabilitate that.
Well, it's a good thing that the what are they called? Resource officers at the school in Maryland was not afraid to confront the kid that brought a gun to school.
Yeah, unfortunately, the one girl that was shot, who was in critical condition for days, they decided to pull her off of life support. So there was somebody killed in that, other than the shooter.
Yeah, but again, it could have been 10 times worse.
Well, and apparently this girl at one point in time had a relationship with the shooter.
So he was.
Then makes it a matter of domestic violence.
Yeah.
There you go.
The thing is, with a lot of these school shootings, if not all of them, like there were signs. There were signs that these kids were that close to the edge, and nobody fucking helped them. And it's not only is it a tragedy for the victims, but in some cases it's a tragedy for these shooters, because if somebody had said something, if somebody had noticed and recognized the emotional distress that these kids are under, they might have been able to turn them in a completely different direction and help them out, rather than let them feel that this was the only option that they had.
Well, and that's the other part of the problem. So, okay, so something like this happens. We always, just like the bombings in Austin, Texas, we always try to figure out the motive after it happened. Why can't we figure out the motive before it happens? Like in Florida, there were the motives were there. Law enforcement was notified. The kid was going online and saying, I'm going to be a professional school shooter, but nothing was done. So, but we want to ban guns.
Yeah, one of our local schools, a kid threatened to shoot up the school. And a lot of the parents are outraged because the school district decided, it's unfounded, he didn't have the means to do it. So they brought him back into the fucking school.
You know what's funny about that, Recoil? It's not really funny, but a kid in, I think it's Vermont, did the same exact thing. He made the threats that he was going to shoot up the school. Well, he was actually picked up and arrested, and he's been charged with attempted murder. And I'm like, he made a threat. He didn't act on the threat. So it's not attempted murder. It's the threat to commit violence with a dangerous weapon.
Right, or terroristic threats, either charge.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, you can definitely charge that kid and put him into the juvenile system and get him fucking help.
Yep. So it's like we have one extreme to another. We have the extreme of we're going to charge you with attempted murder even though you were making threats. And then we have you're making threats, but we're not going to do jack shit about it. There's no middle ground here. There is no middle ground. And that's what we need. We need the middle ground. And everything stems, with kids especially, everything stems in the school system. Especially when people are aware of what these kids are going through. It really starts with the parents, but...
Yeah.
I just hate all the I've got 4 boys in the school system of various ages, and they all talk about this anti-bullying bullshit.
Oh, shut up.
And I think that's where it starts. It's all those posts, instead of walking out protesting guns, why don't you go hang out with that one kid you call, the one weird kid that you always make fun of? Why don't you go have lunch with him? Because that might be what stops the next school shoot. Because I think that's part of it, is these kids are getting pushed to the breaking point, and they feel like they have no other option, and they fucking snap. Everyone's got a breaking point.
Yeah, and to some degree, some of it's just weakness. I grew up in a household where us kids, we all fucked with each other, and it was always in fun. So, if somebody said something to me that a lot of people would consider bullying nowadays, I would just, fuck you, and throw it right back at them. It didn't get under my skin. And I moved from school to school to school, so I got picked on, but it never bothered me. And the thing is 9 times out of 10, the kids that picked on me ended up being the ones that were my fucking friends later on once they realized what I was all about.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing, too, is the individual not having thick enough skin, which I don't know how to solve that world problem, but that is the thing of, too, is like you say, they fuck with you, you deal it right back to them. Kids nowadays, a lot of people, it's like, oh, he said this, and it really hurt my feelings, and they just shut down.
Yeah. Yep. It's crazy. It's crazy. Oh, man.
Oh, well. Stop us on ammo and water and MREs.
Right?
We'll be fine.
Was that your
TV
last story,
radio
Google?
will still be here.
Yes, we will be.
Right?
Until someone pulls the plug.
Right?
I'm glad that we don't have to abide by FCC rules.
Or the plug would have been pulled long ago. Oh, shit. So, well, if you haven't already, head over to DV6.com. That is our forum. It gets you off of Facebook, gets you away from the public eye, where grandma, all your coworkers and your boss see everything that you post on Facebook. You can go over to our forum at DV6.com. Once you get there, you can log in with either your Facebook login, or you can create one with an email, an account with using an email. Once you have an account created, you can go to the top right-hand corner of the screen, click on your profile. You can change your profile picture to any picture you want to use. You can change your name to any call sign you want to use. And then you are free to use the forum in anonymity. There's a lot of good shit over there. We do have the post that would get us banned section, which is very similar to the DV censored posts that you can see on the website. And we also have my personal favorite section, which is the peer support section. That's brothers and sisters just like you and me looking out for brothers and sisters just like you and me. So once again, that's dvbarracks.com.
And there you have it. Oh, by the way, can I say one thing? So the CNN article thing that I read, it was, someone had turned it into a meme, which I had posted to the DV page, Facebook page, and one of the comments is, "Stupid kids, you're literally getting what you asked for. Just put a real backpack in the clear one, then realize why gun laws don't work." So there you get it.
I'm sorry, you can't come into the school. That's a high capacity backpack.
I know.
That one has a tactical grip. Ban it.
I know, right? Oh, man.
It's military grade.
Oh, shit. So you all know Bo's end of the show shtick, and if not, I'm not as good at it as he is, so maybe he'll dub it into the podcast. But check us out on Facebook.com, all Dysfunctional Veterans. Also check out the DV Farm Facebook page, as well as the DV Radio Facebook page. I know we're also on Twitter, but I don't know shit about it. And we also have a YouTube channel that you can check out. It's YouTube Dysfunctional Veterans. You all got anything?
That's it. I'm all done.
Bender?
Thanks for hanging out with us, fuckers. Keep looking out for each other, and as always, we've got your stick, so hit us up on the visitor side if you need anything.
Roger that, and thank you, Bender, for coming on and helping us out tonight and keeping the show going. And with that, be safe and keep looking out for each other, fuckers.
Hit us up on Facebook and Twitter.
That's all, folks.
Goodbye, motherfucker!
DV Radio.